Brock, how concerning was it not seeing Trent out there today?
Man, it's first day of camp. I know he's dealing with some contract stuff, but for me, I gotta go out there and lead the boys in the first day. Obviously this is a long process in terms of like camp, and we got time and all that. But for me, my mindset was go out, do my job today, and try to bring some energy to our offense, and that's where my focus was at.
Brock, it's been asked a few times if you're a good full year this season or this off season coming in. How have you just kind of prepared coming to this season rather than how you prepared last season?
Yeah, I mean, last year a lot of it was rehabbing my arm and trying to get my arm healthy while trying to work out and stuff as well. So I feel like this year I actually had some time to work on my craft and my body and stuff. But I feel like it's really just like anybody else too in terms of off season right before camp starts. Everyone gets after it and tries to get in like the best shape as they can. So that's what I did. And I think for me moving forward, it's like how can I maintain that strength and all that throughout the season, and it's a grind. I mean, we're going to be practicing 3 days in a row, so I got to just stay on it and feel good. But went down to Jacksonville, my guys got me right, and I'm excited.
So weight wise, you are bigger?
About probably a couple pounds heavier, but I think feeling good and not just trying to put on weight, but good weight. That's right, and still being able to move around and be quick and things like that. Like that's all part of my game, and I didn't want to just bulk up and try to gain as much weight as I can. I was smart about it, so I still got to move and throw well.
Are you established to the point now where you may take training camp a little differently, and that maybe the first couple of years I got to be efficient, I got to do the real efficient thing, whereas now that you're the guy, now it's maybe I'm going to try this and see if it works.
I think there's a balance to that, because that is how we have success here as 49er quarterbacks. It's being efficient, making the right decisions over and over and over again. Trying to be a superhero and make all these different kind of throws and stuff. Like that's not how we're coached. That's not how we win games here. So we're going to practice how we play and how we try to win. And, last year, there's some throws and stuff that you try out in camp and it may go well, may not. Same thing this year. But I think overall, more than anything, is how can I be the most efficient quarterback at practice so that when we get into the game situations, nothing changes. My mindset's not different. I want to play just how I practice. So that's our mindset.
You were gaining velocity on the passes coming out of Iowa State into your rookie season. Has that continued? Were you able to make any gains in that regard this offseason?
I think so. Just like little mechanical things down in Jacksonville that we worked on and honed in on, just in terms of being an efficient thrower. There's a guy that comes in and does like 3D motion capture stuff, and we look at my mechanics and try to apply it to my on-field training and get more power out of my hips and all the stuff that goes into it. But I was down there for a good month, and so we were actually able to chip away at some things where last year I was there for a couple weeks. It was more about my elbow rehab, and then I'd come back here early. So I got some good time away to work on it, and I do feel like I got better just with my arm mobility and strength. But like I said earlier, that's something that I have to maintain as we go. So
is that mostly lower body when you're adding velocity miles per hour?
I think both. Yeah, both. Just like the physical training part of it, and then tying it back into your hips and your shoulder being tied together, the sequencing of throwing. I think all of those things together have allowed me to get a little bit more velo on the throws and stuff. So,
Brock, is it a play from the Super Bowl that still gnaws at you?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple plays I'd say that think back on and wish, dang it, So, yeah.
Could you tell us one of them?
I think that third down, that got tipped. We ran double slants. That's one of them that comes out towards the end of the game. There's that one. I think earlier on there was like a second down play that I could have hit Ayuk on a window pretty quick, and it just happened and it closed quickly. So those are the kinds of plays that run through my mind when I think about the Super Bowl and like how can I take my game to the next level with those kind of plays, capitalizing on those plays. So. Yeah.
Is it just the uninitiated? Yeah, sorry, man. Please shut up. No, but to the uninitiated, it was like the one that got tipped that referred to first. It's like, well, what was he going to do? But when you obviously hindsight's 20/20, but if you could do it over, what should you do?
In that play,
Yeah.
Ayuk in the slot. I think if I was quick enough with my feet and got the ball out, that play, we're thinking read it inside out. I'm thinking JJ, third down, like JJ's had a great game. And then Ayuk actually popped with the guy blitzing free. So it's in those moments right before it happens. How can I see it clearly, still stick to my fundamentals of reading that play inside out, not just getting to the outside read. And so it's those plays and those moments, that's situational football. That's where I can grow. And so that's what I mean by, like, there's certain plays like that where I'm like, hey.
How do you balance using that as motivation versus driving yourself insane by, thinking about it too much?
Yeah, I mean, that's the sport, that's the world that we live in, just in terms of playing a professional sport. We're not going to be perfect. You're not going to make every single play. You get to the highest stage playing the Super Bowl and there's a crucial play like that. You're hard on yourself. We're professional. Like, we want to compete and be the best and we want to be perfect, but that's just the nature of it, man. You're gonna come up short sometimes, but I think the best separate themselves by, going and experiencing those things and then being able to learn from them and make change. Not do those same mistakes over, but actually make change and be ready for the moment that comes again.
Brock, how excited are you to have the vertical threats this year? Cowing, Gray, maybe even Willis?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Just being able to have some boys that can, go downfield and give them a shot. And, I think for them, it's coming to practice every day, being consistent, building that trust that we have to, those young guys especially. So that's what, I think these first couple of weeks of practice camp, we're like, all right, let's give those young guys an opportunity with some looks and going deep and see what they can do with it. But on air, man, they can fly and they can do it. And so we just got to connect on 11 on 11 and continue to build that trust. So I'm excited for them.
Do you feel the benefits yet of having a true off season? This is your first true off season where you've been able to participate the whole time going into a season.
Yeah, exactly that. I got OTAs, I got those reps. Just able to build the relationship with the new guys that came in, and then go away for the summer and continue to get better at my craft and build off the reps that I had in OTAs and actually able to watch all the games from last year with Shanahan and Greasy and now being at camp, like, feels good. Like, I feel, ready to roll and excited, just based off of the growth that I've had this offseason. So I'm nowhere near perfect, but I know I can continue to grow and be better, and I need to be better for this team. So that's how I look at it, but definitely excited, not coming off a UCL again. So
Did this day one feel smoother?
I'd say so, but there's still some rust. We can all feel it, timing and routes, leading receivers, play calls, getting in and out of the huddle. But for a day one, I didn't think it was too bad.
A lot of new tight ends in the room. Your first throw today went to Saubert. Did you feel that you built some rapport already with him in OTAs? And then how is it going with the tight end room in particular?
Yeah, I think the way he came in for OTAs and we started throwing pretty early with him and learning how he moves and how he sees things and then coming in and being ready to roll for Cam, like, he made a great play today. So that's something that we're going to continue to have to build off of and get after together. But I'm really excited for him and Braden Willis and his opportunity and obviously George. So it's a great room. I know George is doing a great job of leading all those boys and some young guys and new faces coming in. But having Logan Thomas come in as well and his just veteran presence, like, it's gonna be a solid room. So obviously we got camp for all those boys to showcase and see what they can do and who's going to step up. But I'm excited to work with them all and throw them the ball.
Rob, I imagine the highlight of your offseason was your wedding. What stands out to you about that day? Everyone said it's the floor, but you remember about your wedding day.
Man, it went so fast, but we had just all the best people, like the closest people in our life, be there for us in one day. And so it was a pretty special moment to be able to go through that whole season last year of football and Super Bowl and the craziness and coming back from surgery to then marrying my best friend. Like, it was crazy. That was the best day of the year for me. And looking back on it, man, like, we're just so thankful for everyone in our life. But to come together as one with my wife and my best friend was nothing better.
With all the games that this team has played the past few years and all the disappointment it's experienced, coming so close to achieving the final goal and not getting it, how do you, as a leader, make sure this team maintains that fire and doesn't burn out?
Yeah, we've all just been there, dude. Like, we've tasted it. Obviously, the Super Bowl, it's a couple plays away from literally being Super Bowl champions. the year before that, NFC Championship, the year before that, NFC. So like we have guys in this locker room that taste it and they want it. And, coming back, it was a heartbreak, man, losing that Super Bowl and the way we did it, the overtime, all that. And, how badly we wanted for this fan base and this organization, man, like we wanted. And, but coming back from like OTAs and then obviously now with camp with having all the guys back, just the way Fred's acting, George, Juice, like these guys that have been in the league for a while, man, they're back ready, like hungry. And I'm going to my year 3, so I'm hungry, but I did the same thing. I walked in, I'm like, how are these guys going to, like seem or feel? And you can feel it, man. They're hungry for it and we're ready to do it for this organization and fan base.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you tomorrow. Matt's going to be here in case you guys get caught on security. Just see that.